Alright, this is going to be a little bit different from most Foldscope videos. So we're actually going to start with the pre-assembled Foldscope, which I assembled earlier, and we're going to go through and basically take it apart, and I'll walk through the things that I noticed when I was building it and some of the little tricks. So starting off, we can go and uncouple the back. That. And the next step so that comes out like that. And then this piece can actually be separated again. Like so. And then if you take this piece, you can slide out. That. And then that's pretty much it. I won't actually take out the couplers since they're a bit of a pain to put back in, but just one thing to note in the instructions, let's see here, it claims that the couplers have a shiny side and non-shiny side. It is kind of difficult to see. I guess that is what they mean by the shiny side. That's non-shiny side. There is a little bit more reflection, but it's not as clear as it seems to be in the instructions, so that's one thing to watch out for. Luckily, the couplers have these holes that should line up, so you should know the side that it's meant to go on regardless, but that's just one thing to watch out for. Another thing is with the lens itself, it comes like this, and it sort of looks like a coupler. So this is your coupler, and this is the lens. So that's just a comparison, lens, coupler. The thing with the lens though is when you're actually assembling the microscope, you don't want it with this piece attached, and it looks like it's solidly attached, but it actually is magnetically attached. It's not physically attached. And so that's the shiny side that they're mentioning in the instructions, and that's a trick that I think is pretty important, because I don't think it'll actually work very well if you just attach this whole piece in there. So lastly, when you're popping all of the pieces out of the large die cut paper that you get initially, it is a little tricky to actually get the pieces out, but luckily whatever material they used is pretty durable, so you really will struggle to tear it. On the downside, that also does make it harder to get out some of the pieces, but I think it probably is important because you really don't want to accidentally tear this. So that is probably a good thing in the end. So now I'll just go and reassemble all the pieces. You can see how it goes back together again. So first, you can slide this guy in, like so. It's the Z stage, so it actually lifts your sample up and down. It's basically a wedge, so that's how it kind of lifts it as it slides through. And then we will go and assemble these two pieces. So this is easy. There's a blue side and a yellow side. The yellow side goes together. That's easy to remember. Just do it like so. Like that. And then can start folding these tabs around. Like I said, whatever material this is kind of plasticky, so you don't have to worry too much about bending it out of shape. It'll kind of go back to its natural shape. It doesn't crease very much, which does make some of the pieces where you have to fold a lot, like the Z stage, a little difficult, because it is difficult to fold, but you'll get there eventually. So just finish up this. Last one. And then in the back, you can clip in your magnetic couplers like so. And then to move the sample around, you can kind of go left and right and up and down, and then the Z stage like so. And some pieces do kind of stick a little on some things. So you can kind of go on the back, adjust a little, see what's sticking, try to fix it a little bit. There we go. And yeah, that's the Foldscope. Pretty interesting little microscope from the Prakash Lab at Stanford University. So if you're interested, check it out. I'll be doing some actual images that I get from this in a later video,